Bahsan Abdirahman was the only Muslim lady who took part in the just concluded Mrs. World Kenya 2024. From not affording to pay the 3,000 shillings registration fee to almost winning it. Here is her story.
My name is Bahsan Abdirahman. I'm a 20-year-old lady working as a henna artist, an actress, a model, and an influencer. I started loving modeling when I was in high school. Yeah, people used to catwalk ikifika end term. There was always an event of high school models. CGHU was in 2020. As an influencer, I used to showcase clothes. Most of the time I was very comfortable with heels at first. If you want to model, you have to be comfortable with the heels first. You have to love the heels. Secondly, I was learning modeling with Nasra's class, Nasra Yusuf. Yeah, there was a time she had a modeling class, but I only went for a few weeks and I exited. I think 2023, yeah, uko mwanzo. After leaving the class, we had an event, me and a lady called Lule and other models. We organized a modeling show for orphans. It was for Little Miss Powerful, but the event was known as Somali Met Gala Night. So my first time walking on a runway in front of 50 and above people was on that day. I was showcasing Nizra Designs clothes, yeah. That was my first and last. I was to participate in another one, but unfortunately they didn't want Muslims. So I just had to step back and wait for more. Okay, I used to see Mr. and Miss World Kenya for a longest time, but I used to say they cannot take Muslims because most of the people who were there were not Muslims. So I used to say maybe they are, their boundaries are not beyond us. So there was a time I saw their page and I said, you know what, I have to try this. I applied everything, but at the end they said we have to pay 3,000 for registration. But I didn't have that 3,000 at the moment. But I had already submitted the form. So in my mind, I knew the application didn't go through. But after a few weeks, I gotten a call from Odada. He was our principal during that boot camp audition. During the Maandamano time, so we had a boot camp. A boot camp is a place where you guys come. Zamani, they used to sleep there, but now they have changed their routine. We only go and come, we come and go. You go to the boot camp after you have qualified. Well, I got a call from Odada. I didn't know I was gonna be picked. Anyway, my mind was like, no, imeshaenda. But the moment I got a call, he told me, you need to come at 2 Rivers, 8 a.m. in the morning. We have an audition going on. When I went there was 150 people. And we were only 2 Muslims, ladies, and 1 Muslim guy. So I was like, no, sitachukuliwa, I'm not gonna be picked. So we went inside for the auditions. They told us you need to catwalk in front of us and ask and answer some questions. The first thing they asked me is, what's your name and what do you do? I was a little bit anxious because the people who are there are the same people who participated in Miss World Kenya. I just said I am Bahsan Abdirahman, I'm an influencer and a model. That's all I said. We went outside after a few hours of auditions, 150 people. There was no hope. But when the names were being called, the people who qualified, I was in the last name. I was the last name. People are being called, nani, da 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 da, come out, stand up. I said, I'm just going home. But in the last minute, I had my name, Bahsan Abdirahman. They didn't even pronounce my name well. You need to stand up. I was like, oh, okay. And they told us this is not yet over. We need to audition you guys the second time. How many of us qualified? 40. The only Muslim who qualified. The other lady went home. I don't know. After I qualified, we have been told we need to come to a boot camp. At first, I had no idea what boot camp means. No idea, totally. But the second day I went, it was just a normal day. We had a principal and a modeling manager. So her name was Mozarika Betty. She was the one who was leading the ladies, and the other man was Odada. He was leading the men. So in boot camp, we were only taught how to walk, how to answer questions, how to be yourself, how to be comfortable with heels. That was the only thing we were being told. So at the moment I was there and I saw people being alphas. I was here. They were there. There are people who were used to model before, and I've never tried pageantry before. This is my first time. But they were really nice people. The manager and each and everyone who was there, they were like, no, you're not odd and out, you're one of us. The fact that you're wearing a hijab doesn't mean you're not one of us. Because I used to feel I'm not one of them. Because, you know, most of the time when you go around people who don't know you, who don't relate to your culture, who don't respect you, you feel you're not one of them. But they respected my religion. They used to tell me, no, you're going to wear your hijab. You're not going to remove them. Wear something that you're comfortable with. Don't wear something tight that you're not comfortable with. Let the rest wear tight clothes. You can be you. So at the moment I felt like I'm home. We're not going to pay the 3,000 shillings. It was removed for everybody. I was like, okay, maybe it's my luck. Maybe this is what I was meant to do. But at the same time on the boot camp, people are still going home. If you're not working the way they want, you're just going home. So I was even more afraid that I was going to be one of the people who were sent home. But
how long was the boot camp?
Boot camp was for 1 month. Yeah, I went there for 1 month being trained how to walk with heels, how to do choreography. Choreography, it's like, you know, when you can be 5 people, you need to work as a team. You need to work as a team. In the finals, you would see I was with. Yeah, it's something that you guys are putting together so that you can work as a team.
Then, after the boot camp, what happened? Was there any evolution?
No, after the boot camp was really tough because some people were going home due to maybe it is not that you have a problem, it is just that they haven't seen what they're looking for. So at first I used to say, I'm going home. But alhamdulillah, I didn't go home. We had a head-to-head challenge. Head-to-head challenge, it is where when you guys go to model, you're being asked questions. So that was the one that determines if you're going to go home. I was asked a simple question. They ask, you have to give your beauty of purpose. My beauty of purpose was I work with organizations that deals with orphans, hospitality, stuff like that. So there was no hard question, never. The only thing they asked me was, how are you gonna advise orphans and disability people? I was so excited at first. I was really excited, but as time goes, as I said, sometimes you feel like you're not supposed to be there, you're not one of us. Sometimes I used to feel like my Muslim people are gonna judge me because I'm in between people who are not one of us. But as time goes by, I think I was only praying to Allah that He guides me to do the right thing, and I was comfortable. I was just doing the right thing. In the morning, I used to 7, sometimes 6. If we have any activities, we used to go home late. They used to stand for your transport. As for me, they used to pay my transport every single day. At first, they used to pay my Uber, but it was more expensive. You know, there are also other people who are going through something. So they used to give me, after a period of time, they used to give me 300 shillings each and every day, go and back. From Donholm to Rivers, 300. I qualified, we went for finals. We went for fittings, you know, dresses, you have to wear dress, you have to wear dinner gowns, you have to do your traditional. For me, for my traditional, I wore a cloth from Fahma, the manager of Mr. and Miss World Kenya. Yeah, anything that you're comfortable with, it is what you're gonna wear. They were giving you pairs, you choose which one you like, and they would also compare the one that you're wearing, the colors to the rest, so that you guys can be uniformed when you walk on the stage. The finals, we are supposed to wear 3 clothes: traditional, gown, introduction, and dance. So you would pick only 4 clothes for each activity. At home, first of all, my people were very happy. You know, not most of the families would encourage you to do modeling, because some of them think it is something that is not necessary. But for me, my Hoyo and the rest, my little siblings, they used to tell me, go Bahsan, you can do it. It doesn't matter where you come from, you can do it. I think the word of motivational gave me support, my friends. Yeah. Final day, I left home at 1 p.m. And the time I reached there was almost 3 because of jam. After the 3 p.m. I reached there, we went to eat. The most importantly thing they used to say, you need to eat, you need to be hydrated, drink water, be comfortable, so that when you walk on that stage, you be you rock. Don't look at other people, no. It is your time to shine. So after that, we went to eat, makeup. They did our makeup. Yeah, and the ones who are not wearing hijab, they were taken to salon. As for me, the only thing I was supposed to be take care of was my hijab. My first presentation was the dance, which was compulsory. It was a must. Yeah, we did a dance for both men and women, but the dance was different. It was not a long dance. It was just a simple one, just a simple choreography.
In the dance, do you dance or you just shake yourself? What happens?
You just dance like normal dance. I'm a piano. To any song, yeah. But they picked a specific song. It was Amapiano and old school song, yeah, I guess. After that, we went backstage. We were told to prepare ourselves to wear our introduction clothes. Actually, at the moment, I was really frustrated because no one showed at the show. But when I saw my mom, I started crying because there was no one on the event. The only people who came were my 2 friends, Siham and Hanad and Hoyo, and I really appreciate. Went backstage, I changed my clothes, my dancing clothes to the introduction. I was a little bit anxious, but the owner known as Ashley, the one who is standing for Mr. and Miss World Kenya, there's one thing she told me. When you go there, remember you're doing all of this for yourself. Don't think about others. The ones who are seated there, they have already lived their life. Now it is you. Don't think too much. When you go out there, don't look at what the rest of your colleagues are doing. Do you. Enjoy yourself. Because when you start cramming the things that you're supposed to do on stage, you will mess it up. My second performance was my traditional. I wore a cloth from Fahma. It was a Idia Dakan. Yeah, a green one. To be honest, they were really excited. They were really screaming. And I was like, okay, I'm doing the right thing.
They were screaming in support or what?
In support. And I didn't know who they were. I didn't know who they were. But I was like, it's okay. I guess I'm on the right track.
Then at the second day, the third one, do you know?
The third one was a gown, evening wear. I wore a blue evening wear with a white hijab. That, I think that was the end of the show. We went backstage. We were told that we should wait to be called so that the top 10 could be called. I really had hope that I was going to be among the top 10s, but unfortunately I was not among them, which it is understandable for someone like me to be there at my first time. And it is very rare because as a Muslim, I think they don't see the potential in Muslims yet, but we're gonna prove them wrong. The experience was really good. At least I learned something. There's so many things I've learned because I wanted to organize my own show before I joined Mr. and Miss World Kenya. I wanted to organize my own show of modeling. But Alhamdulillah, the Mr. and Miss World Kenya came through because at the moment, I stood up and say, bro, CG, I know nothing about modeling. If I was to organize my show, I would have messed it up. I've learned many things. I've learned the beauty of pageantry. I've learned there is first and second runners-up, third runners-up. All of that I had no idea. The only thing that was in my head was modeling of runway only. My biggest challenge was clothing. Despite they used to tell me I have to wear what I'm comfortable with, at the same time they need to see how you're walking, how you're moving. That was my biggest challenge. But Alhamdulillah, everything that I used to wear was baggy. But at the same time, they used to see how I'm walking. I just told myself I'm not gonna allow them to make me wear something tight that I'm not comfortable with. At the end of the day, we are allowed to follow our dreams in the right way. So for me, wearing tight clothes was very uncomfortable, but Alhamdulillah, they didn't tell me to wear something uncomfortable. We need more. We need more of us there. They need to see the potential in us. They need to see we can also do it. Yeah, it is just the same way as Halima Adam. She was the first Somali to wear hijab on the runway in 2016 in Minnesota. It was not easy for her. And she's where she is now because she really worked hard. You just need to be surrounded with the good people. Not all pageantry events are gonna allow you to be you, but for me, as I experienced Mr. and Miss World Kenya, they told me to be me. I think that is the biggest flex and that is the biggest accomplishment I could give them. They're really supportive people.